Okay.
So anyway,
that baby mom's tripping, huh?
Tripping ain't the word, homie.
Okay. Well, she toxic then or something.
It's like when my phone rings and I know it's her. It's a
Oh yeah, that Darth Vader. Okay. She got that Sith energy in a damn.
Oh, and I bought a car this weekend too. I traded the Beast.
The Beast. Okay, so are you gonna freak this car out? You know what I'm saying? So you can look like a detective pulling up, or you gonna like how you had the Beamer, or are you just gonna keep it looking as nice as it look now though?
For now, we're not. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you know me, I can't keep a car stock for too long, but we'll see. For right now, it's a great car. I traded in the Beamer, which I did cry. I did shed a tear.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, man. We need to pour out a little bit for that.
Yeah, well, we do need to pour out a little bit for that. But yeah, no. But I got a good deal. My wife was like, we're gonna look a couple. We're gonna look for a couple days. Maybe buy one next week. I'm like, no. When I go out to do something, I don't go shopping to like walk around and window shop. I go and I bought it. So we bought it the same day. So,
That's awesome.
5 hours total. I'm driving home in a good car. So
well, that definitely goes with the topic of what we're talking about, because last time you saw me, I pretty much had a different car. So it looks like we both tried to level up or made some advancements in the vehicle department, which definitely to me, man, I'm looking at it now as an asset. Absolutely. One, we can get to where we need to quicker and it's more reliable and dependable, but these are vehicles that we can put, you know what I'm saying, in our artwork, our creativity, skits and things like that. Matter of fact, when I did a skit, I didn't even think about it at the time, but I was on the inside doing a skit and someone was on the outside doing one, and I noticed that they had my car in it, and I was like, that's pretty damn cool. Maybe I should be doing something like that. But that'll be coming, you know what I'm saying, the Hot Wheels series that we working on.
Nice. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So how I do this, Ray, man, when I talk about the topics, I have pretty much like pointers and questions and things like that sometimes that I talk to my viewers about, and we usually just try to put our heads together, man, and make some resolutions, or just talk about things of how we feel and make sense. So like one of the things that I think is crucial or should be on our minds if we want to advance in our life and level up as well, but our health awareness or your health. A lot of times people want to do certain things and they either physically can't do it, or they may not be in the right mental space because they're going through a divorce or they lost something, or they can't necessarily deal with the amount of finances that they have at that time, so they're trying to advance and level up, get stagnated, or they stall on it. So I definitely think a clear mind, clear conscience, or doing some activities that you like to do that promote health definitely would be important in my equation of advancing and leveling up.
Clear mental health too, as well. A lot of people have, including myself, bad case of ADHD. And I mean, if I don't do my day right, or I don't take my meds, I'm all over the place. So and that kind of got greater as I got older. I didn't really take medication as a kid. I didn't really know I had ADHD as a kid. But as I got older, my wife's like, you need to go figure something. You need to go do something. So I did. So it's but mental health is
good. And see, you were aware enough to understand that and do something about it. Like you just said, if people don't know, they could be doing themselves a disservice. Like you don't know what your capabilities are until you go check that out. The next thing you know, you get in control of that, and boom, you are reaching different heights and levels. I got financial stability. I know that's a big one, man. Like most of the time that I've had a talk with people, if they're not already where they want to be, they're going to need some type of finances to get it. And the issues and the problems would be like, do you get an extra job, or how do you have that extra side hustle? Like, what do they know how to do to just simply just bring in that extra income to level up? And I have some people, man, their belief, like they feel like they don't necessarily have to invest very much, let it happen for them, or they'll continuously say use your resources, which that is a part of it, but if you want to make millions, you may, I would say, have to put something down,
absolutely,
on what you got going on.
You got to give to get.
Yeah. I feel like, and you kind of definitely just said this, but I like, do you feel like you need a partner to help advance in your life? And that's an interesting question that I posed, because at first I probably didn't think I did. I thought I could do it either all on my own, or I was confident and comfortable enough in that single world to just do, you know what I'm saying, how I felt, when I felt. But with a partner, it's someone that you can bounce ideas off with, someone that's like, hey, you need to get up and do this. You got the money for that. You need to buy that, which I'm going to get to at some point of what she did, you know, encourage me to invest in. And now I'm looking at it like, I don't look at a partner as a crutch. I look at a partner as like they say, that power couple, or someone, you know what I'm saying, that can help you get done what you need to get done. So I'm definitely one that feel like having one is definitely an advantage, but it should be to the point where you are solid enough to do it without one, but
you need some help.
I like one.
Yeah, you need some help. So you said you just got last time I talked about it, you didn't have an old lady. So
You heard that in the background. Not that how old is she? But yeah, man. Yep. So yeah, that's an advancement, you know what I'm saying, from since the last time you saw me. Yeah. Not that I was out there really running wild and doing crazy things, but I had more time to leisure time, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm using that as that's my, you know what I'm saying, me time and business as well. A lot of times I would say that, like, you would have to acknowledge the setbacks in life, you know what I'm saying, and realize if they're hindrances to level up. If you don't really know what's setting you back or was an obstacle to you, then it can be burdening on you. It can stagnate the progress of what you want to do to get to the next level.
Very true. Very true.
I also have are they mental or physical, which we just kind of talked about, but do you want to level up in a mental way, physical way, business way? Like, which way do we actually want to level up? And sometimes when, let's just say, people get out of a relationship or something like that, they may try to alter themselves or the way they look to level up, or they may be like, well, now I'm about to go get this car or go get this house that they thought I couldn't get to level up. It's a lot of different ways. But to me, those type of things are mentally satisfying for the ego. The physical leveling up would be, like I say, the changing of your body, maybe the changing of some of your habits, the changing of maybe getting rid of certain vices or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's how some people can level up for sure. But those are hard pills to swallow for certain people that may become addicts or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I say what we tend to want the most, we have to work hardest for. So a lot of times, do you actually have it in you? And it took me a minute to realize I had it in me, but what did I have in me? What do I have in me to help me level up or advance from whatever state that I'm in now? You guys can feel free to pitch in if you want, you know what I'm saying? Because Lab be having some pretty good advice, I know, from time to time.
I'm sorry. Lab is looking at the video. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask it after you finish saying what you said, but since you said my name, I'm going to, I'm going to put myself in the conversation. Mm-hmm. When it comes to leveling up, do we only think of certain things that affect us, or can leveling up be what happens within your family dynamic? Like you said, your girl, mm-hmm. You say you have kids and stuff of that nature. Mm-hmm. Can it be a direct effect of them leveling up that help, you know what I'm saying, that the level up is a group effort, it's a family thing? Do you guys feel that is possible, or is it only you leveling up and then maybe?
So if you're a team in a unit, then you can answer this one too, right? If you're a team in a unit, then you're going to share anyway. Mm-hmm. So if I have more, whoever I'm around is going to benefit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's, of course, especially because I look at it as a formula as well as to what I'm doing, and an equation, mm-hmm. and you're part of that. So yeah, but now those that may doubt, or those that make it difficult, or those that may subtract from that formula and equation, when I level up, you're going to see it, but you won't benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. That's, life is not easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, life is not easy. And, you have your. I mean, like in my eyes, my family. I spend most of my time with my family. I mean, if I've been so I started off by saying life is easy because I mean I've been through rough times in my life. I've been through great times in my life, and now my wife and I'll be celebrating 15 years at the end of this month.
Congratulations on that.
Two beautiful kids, and so we're cruising down the road of life, 10-year-old, 5-year-old, and then we get this dog, right? And this dog has brought all of this like love to the family. Now we're all, there's so many devices these days. I know, Alex. I've watched your, the podcast before where you're talking about, devices and kids on devices all the time. So I mean, we definitely regulate the devices in our house, but now the dog is, there's another living being there, and I tell you, when you're talking about leveling up as a family, I mean, it's something as simple as that. I mean, now we're taking walks, going out with the dog, walking the dog outside, even though, and she's tiny, and even my daughter had a very bad fear of dogs because she just had like a bad incident with her first time with a dog. It was my sister's dog, jumped up on her and scared her and shit. But now she's holding our dog and running around with it, and it's a beautiful thing. So I mean, that's you do need people. I mean, that's what I think about leveling up is you need to always be evaluating in your life what you do need to get better on and what you need to get what you need to put beside your habits that you need to kill or work on getting.
Yeah, I think you answered the next question I was going to ask. Because I was going to ask you, does leveling up have to be only a tangible thing? Can it be just hanging out, talking to your family more? And you already answered that question kind of because I don't want to re-ask it again.
No worries.
But that was the next step I was going to ask you. Let me ask another question that we didn't really hit on when you guys started. How did you guys meet?
I'll let you get that meeting. I'm gonna let Ray tell this story.
So down the road of life, about two years ago, I got out of the software selling world, and I'm gonna jump back into Hollywood. I'm gonna try to make it as an actor. I did some stunt driving, some precision driving back in the days on shows like movies like Too Fast, Too Furious, Resident Evil, a couple other different shows like that, and I jumped back in this industry. Now I jumped in with a purpose. Like I mean, you gotta have my wife was just not like you're gonna go from $150,000 job to just making basically nothing, trying to build. But I said no, babe. I'm gonna give me 1 year, 1 year and a half. And so when I went on, I did about 86 different movies and TV shows. And when I went on these shows, I did to network. I was fine. I had a job just to network. Well, I ended up meeting some people, and then I think it was Kristen reached out to me and said, hey, I got this Netflix thing we want to do. It's like seven. You had to make a 7-minute movie without any kind of major TV production equipment. You just had to do it on your own.
Okay.
And so I show up at Alex's at Ghost's house.
Okay.
Not knowing anybody, and then I mean he and I clicked. I mean we were the funny part of this. We did a 7-minute video, and this. I mean I've never seen anybody more hilarious. But I mean, and I think he said even tell you the same thing. I mean we got to roll that. So you got to post that. We had that video sometime. We got to show that sometime. But Alex, I mean even after we got done, we worked for 2 hard days. We put something together that was really corny. It was hysterical. I mean like Alex is dancing with a skeleton in the.
I forgot about that.
Oh my! And I'm interrogating him, and we were just. And I knew that Dose was for real. Like I was like, this guy's for real. I'm gonna get on. He's gonna be a part of my network. And ever since then, I mean, we put up some hilarious skits. We've worked on, Justin Jackson skits together, which is another part owner of a company. And I mean, this man's been on Country Lane before. I mean, I've had the opportunity to do that. I mean, he's full of talent. But you know what? He's not just full of talent. He's full of brains. And that's what I like. Like I found people when I did this networking. I found plenty of people that were good and had talent, but not many people that had both. He's responsible. I mean, he's responsible. He's a great. He goes to his job and then saves and then does what he can when he can. So that's. I mean, you can tell if I missed out any parts of the story.
No, that's pretty much how it went down. It was an all-night type of thing, man. And then on top of that, we actually had to deal with a little bit of difficulties, like when Buddy came over and wanted to switch the whole script on us, and we pretty much had to put our feet down, and that's what made us kind of bond a little bit too, because it's like, hey man, we really gotta move this guy out the way to get this production going. And so being able to handle business like that with nobody getting their feelings hurt, nobody getting cussed out, nothing happening, but getting the project done how we need it. It kind of like left an everlasting impression. So now it's like, hey, he pretty much got me into the skits. Like I said, I offered up my house as a location.
Right, okay.
But I obviously knew that I could get into some of it. And then next thing you know, we're writing, and here we are. So that's another thing about this podcast, is that pretty much it's affirmations that come through this. So what I like to talk about, they'll eventually see it portrayed in real time. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how Lab and I have been doing things and making it go. It's funny because before you had just asked how we met, we were kind of talking about, I have like, are there signs of improvement or signs actually like of affirmations that whatever the leveling up you're trying to do is actually for you or can be done. Improvement is always a plus and a positive because it's basically assessing yourself, which I definitely have on here too. Like in order to advance, you have to have a starting point, some kind of beginning to assess yourself. And I know, Lab, you were kind of like on me about that as far as with the exercising.
Right.
You were like, well, we want to see, you know what I'm saying? You're actually advancing and leveling up, but we don't see the procedure behind it. We don't see the day by days, or we don't see what you putting into it. And maybe that can be it's becoming encouraging to people because I'm looking at the views of it, and I have people now like, oh, you a virtual trainer and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, and I'm advancing because now I got some tools and resources to, one, help eliminate the middleman, which puts more power in my hands, and two, now I can create the content faster, quicker, and more of it so that the people that want it can get it.
Okay.
And you and I gonna see more advances after a while from all of this. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry. What's your IG? IG.
Oh, my IG? It's Raymond Goodwin III.
Okay.
That's pretty much the RG3, the real RG3. Remember, the first RG3 was a flop.
Okay. The real RG3.
No disrespect to the first RG3.
So do you say you did precision driving and stuff? Have you posted, because that's part of leveling up, have you posted any of your precision driving? Like, have you put a GoPro on your helmet, on your car, on your dashboard, and showed any of those things? Because a lot of those things are things, I mean, I know we don't really have that much of a Hollywood thing going on now. You know, everybody has to do it independently now because I think Hollywood is moving out of Georgia. But even so, you put that kind of stuff up, like I tell those, I mean, you got to put this stuff up, man. You put that kind of stuff up, that kind of niche thing that you do as precision driving, you don't have to be in Georgia. If they gonna call you, and I mean, you know, Mission Impossible does those kind of things. All these kind of spy movies and stuff like that, they gonna call you up. They be like, hey, RG3, right? Hey, man, we need you out here in France to do some precision driving for a couple of months. Can you make it?
That would be great.
You don't have to be, see, a lot of things people don't understand when it comes to leveling up is that you don't have to be necessarily here to level up. You can be here and then be somewhere else and start leveling up from there because you're leveling up by going there. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so I do have videos of me doing stuff in cars. Like, so the problem with when you're on set is that it's secret to, like, I mean, you don't even know. You go on set and they tell you, like, let's say, like when we did Superman, you know, I was in Roberta, Georgia for a week, and I drove one of the big army trucks, you know, so I, you know, did a bunch of stuff. But like, they called it Genesis. Like, they don't call the name. I mean, and if you get caught with an iPhone filming anything or doing anything like that, like, you will be kicked off the show and banned from that casting talent or that agency forever, and you will not get back in. And I've seen it happen. And I mean, people just taking selfies with people, and, you know, oh yeah, it's a no-no. But so it's really hard to get that kind of footage when you're doing it. And then when it shows up on the big screen, it's not you doing it. It's all now been remastered. And, you know, but I do have a lot of stuff that was on my own that I did. Like, sometimes my kid even would film, you know, they'll be doing some burnouts or whatever, and it's I have all that like sitting in my, like, I have probably 2,000 videos in photos.
Oh man, you need to put that out.
I do need to get it posted. I just you know, it's time. It's time.
So
and that's my excuse. But that's a good point. That's a good point.
And speaking of time, I have what I call this new phrase. I just thought of it. I want positive pressure. Like pressure makes you move, makes you do things. You don't want negative pressure though. Like when I say the positive pressure, it's like, okay, with those people that are expecting my workout videos now, that's some positive pressure to me, because if I actually do go to the gym, it's a plus for me. Then now I'm helping somebody, that's another plus, but they're expecting it now. So it's a little bit of pressure behind it, but I want to give them what they want, give them what they're looking for, you know? And by doing that, like Credo was just saying, man, just make the content and put it out, bro. Like, I mean, you can't do anything if you don't try, or like, you never know, them with one of those spin outs could get you however many, wherever you needed to be.
I think we spend a lot of time thinking of level, and I do this a lot. I'm guilty of it. Thinking about how to level up instead of just trying to level up. You get what I'm saying? We think about it like we want it to be perfect. We want it to look this way. We want it to be that way. We want the best video. We want the crisp, clean HD, cameras and stuff like that. And a lot of times when you go on YouTube and stuff, the only people who are making money off the product has that kind of stuff. But most people film stuff on their phone. These iPhones now, you can do amazing videos with them, and you can even download the Black Magic camera app to it and do a lot of great stuff to it. So I think a lot of times we stagnate ourselves and stagnate our leveling up because we don't want to necessarily put out a bad product, or we don't want to necessarily cause someone to think that we think we're more. This comes when it comes to family. You try to level up. A lot of times, leveling up can be separating yourself from family, or separating yourself from friends, because those people are dragging you back down. So, have you guys ever thought about that? Like, we're leveling up and separating from friends and family?
Well, but I mean, my leveling up is mainly for me, because it's gonna help me do what I need to do. But if someone, most of the time, fortunately, my family ain't the type that'll drag me down. It's like, oh, that's him doing his thing. You see what I'm saying? But now, if it's some other negative energy that's always doubtful or never willing to put in on it, then you distance yourself from them anyway, like you were talking about. But
have you ever done?
I've had to distance myself from plenty of people to level up. Clearly that.
Like this, and
you're gonna have to, because it's not for your cause, and anything that's not for the cause is that's just time and energy, emotion, money, whatever. It's something that's not plus or adding to the advancement.
And to point out exactly what you were just saying. I mean, the people that you hang around and that are your friends. I mean, you go through life. I mean, I'm 47. I know Alex is close to that, but you go through your whole life hanging out with these people that they're either good for you or they're bad for you. I mean, I know in the last 2 years I've gone through a lot of like, I don't need to hang out because you're dragging me down because all you do is complain or whatever. Like, and conversation. But then I see these successful people. You're going to be in the environment, and you're going to excel in the environment that you put yourself in. You know what I'm saying? So if you're hanging around successful people, like you're going to be you're going to thrive for that success. But if you're hanging around people that aren't doing much, you're I hate to say it, but you're going to be drugged that way.
I agree with you 100%.
And then with the family that I have, I mean, and it's just
make a sign language.
I'm sorry. Like I was doing in the beginning. No, I talk with my hands sometimes.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
But and I'll wrap this part up. But it's like, with the family that I have, I know that I spent when I look at my kids, I mean, I am I just got a brand new job about 2-3 weeks ago, and double the salary from the last job, and that's why I kind of had to dip out of the Hollywood scene for a little bit, because I mean, I look at my son and my daughter and my other daughter, and I'm like, I have to support these people, and acting, just doing that thing and doing featured background, standing work, stunt stuff, just wasn't making the bills because I know I could step back into a software job and make a lot of money. So that's right. It is, you can level up, I think, in with family and things and friends. I mean, all three.
I agree.
So one thing about the acting and the creativity and the talent, if it's in you, then it's always there. So when you take a step back, it ain't hard to, you know what I'm saying, bring that back into the fold when you're ready. But now I do, and it's like we kind of talk. Well, I can just tell based off how our conversations are going. This one right here, like, it's how do we respond towards the failures in our life? I don't try to harp on that a lot because you're gonna take some L's, and it's only a failure if it makes you stop. Sometimes we may consider what just didn't work. You don't necessarily have to consider it as a failure. It just didn't work.
Right.
But now I will say some things I have failed at, and then you just have to understand that's your limitation. And so in order to level up, one is the understanding of it, and probably not to do that.
And there's one word I have for you. One word. And it's called resilience. Resilience
cool.
is something that I have thrived on. That is what, when I've gotten knocked down, I mean, I've gotten back up. You have to fail before you're going to succeed. I mean, one of the companies I worked for in the past, this man failed 15 different times, and he runs a $15 billion company. You know, I mean, he almost got arrested doing something he wanted to do because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't all what the world wanted back then. But then, but he failed, 15 times, man, and is more successful than most people. And so, you know, it's resilience. Resilience. I have a book called Resilience that my stepdad actually gave me, and I read it when it's not a book you just read cover to cover. Right. You read it when the times of your life you need it, different chapters. And
you don't read it in order. I read that book too. You read it when you feel it in a certain way.
Okay.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
So this I think is definitely important, but has your mindset and mentality change as you get older? Because if we're still doing some of the same things that were basically having us chasing our own tail or something, like when we were younger, like, did you learn what you needed to learn so you can advance and level? It's a lot of us now, especially with these social media tools and things like that don't necessarily either act our age or make the rational decisions to level up based off of influence, you know what I'm saying, or based off of impulse, or trying to be something or do something that someone else is doing rather than themselves.
I don't think a lot of people think that acting your age is leveling up. I mean, you've got to act the age that you are, or you're gonna forever. You're trying forever to be a kid. I don't feel that age. I'm gonna act. You know, I feel young. I feel oh great. I feel young too. Some days. Some days I feel terrible. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's just a matter of life. You know, it's just what you're gonna go through. But I don't think people realize that being your authentic self and just realizing that, hey, like me, I'm 55. I can't do certain things. I'm not going to do certain things because I am 55. I can't be out here just looking, let me say, a little slow because I'm trying to act 25 when I know I'm 55. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think people realize that acting your age is leveling up. At some point, you got to act your age.
Well, else your body and other things will start telling on you anyway.
Right.
I have self-initiative, meaning I think leading by examples and rather than waiting on others is definitely going to help you level up. And it could be waiting on someone that actually has enough money to change your life, but sometimes that wait makes you either lose more power, it makes you either lose interest, or waiting on someone else, what if it never comes, or they, have more control of your creativity, or now maybe more stake in the claim because you're waiting on someone else to do something that you could be doing. Mainly, let's say if you do it yourself, then you can either meet them halfway. Right. Maybe they have less, or they will respect you because you're on the same plane as them.
That's a good point.
Do you think that either one of you could answer this question? Do you think that taking responsibility for your failures as well as your success is leveling up as well?
I think absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to own them. You have to own everything you do, even if you fall. If you fail, you succeed, because you're not going to go through life being perfect. It's just there's just no one out there is. Like, you know, you look around. There's these families walking around. They seem like, my wife would be like, they seem like they got no problems. Like, they got problems somewhere.
Right.
They got a problem somewhere. And the only way to get over that and to level up is just to recognize those and get better because of them. And I mean, there's been years of my life where I haven't done a good job in doing that. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, we probably all can say that, right?
Right.
And if you can't say that, then you got problems, and then you're not acting your age. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not, because you have to own what you do, whether it's fall on your face or make $1 million. You know, you gotta, you know.
So
that's what I think.
My leveling up gonna take some hard work, so that's gonna make me be kind of humble, and it's gonna benefit me because it's gonna take the time with that hard work. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna own that. You know, the failures, I'm righting the wrongs and the mistakes and the failures as I go. I'm looking at it now. I'm talking through it, and I'm looking at it through these. You see what I'm saying? This is part of that too. Like, I can record with these if I want to too, which is one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, I invested in that. I also got down here, like, I think it definitely it takes some honesty to level up, man. Because I look at it like, I'm a firm believer in the karma, and it doesn't always have to be that spiritual where everybody, karma. And meaning, like, energy, bro. Like, if you're doing something, you know, negative, or doing something to detract from someone else, it's going to happen to you at some point. Maybe not then and there. Maybe not even what you think, in the form of something. You may think you leveled up in that way, and then the next thing you know, you have a health issue. But the point is that honesty, you know what I'm saying, with myself and others, that it definitely take that, you know what I'm saying, as part of my advancement. I seem to build and create longer lasting and better, more beneficial relationships with honesty. So you got to keep up with no lies. If I've been lying to him, you know what I'm saying, he probably wouldn't even be here.
Right. Understanding your path in life and where you are, where you want to be, and where you came from is an honest reflection of, you know, you leveling up. I mean, we all got to remember where we come from. That helps us to realize that we have leveled up through life. Like you were saying, your wife said, man, they just look like they don't have any problems. Like, and instead of, I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'm guilty of what your wife does. I'm guilty of looking around and going, man, this guy got all this equipment for his podcast. His cameras is crispy. You know, like, what's he doing that I'm not doing? Or they got 10,000 views in 4 minutes. What is they doing that I'm not doing? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I got to realize that when we started this, we had curtains up. You know what I'm saying? We had one camera and a broken down computer and a broken mixer when we started it. You know what I'm saying? Congrats. So we've leveled up over the years. It's just that we want to level up faster, because I think what happens with us, with like me and your wife, is that we see people on the other side doing a lot more than, or getting a lot more than what we get, and that's guilty of all of us, and we want that too. We know we deserve that too, and so we don't realize our leveling up has happened. It's just happened at a slower pace.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I sometimes think she's just like, you know, she just kind of looks at me and goes, you know, you better get your stuff together.
Right.
But sometimes, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. You know, I mean, I'll say, gosh, and he's probably gonna, but I guess I've had so many issues, and just since I was young, when my parents got divorced, you know, ever since then, I just thought I was doomed, you know, and I always bounced back. I mean, you know, just had to do things as a kid that most kids don't have to do. You know, and it's like, you know, so I just know that, and I've just grown up my whole life not knowing that. I mean, just knowing that it can be bad, and that's why I think where my wife and I disagree sometimes. But then we'll agree to agree, you know, disagree to agree, or whatever the hell I was trying to say. You know, then we'll agree, you know, say, okay, well, we'll back up and we'll say, well, look, this is, you know, we're doing what we need to do. I mean, we're very successful in our jobs. Our kids are great. I mean, who knows what that family that we're looking at, kid could have so many problems, you know, like so many behavioral problems, and our kids don't. But like, you know, but do we live in the biggest, grandest house right now? No,
Right.
we're looking for our next big, you know, dream house right now. But we have made our life and our kids and did our family together in a really nice house, but a good, decent size. You know,
Right,
I'm about to kick some people out of my house because we're starting to run out of room. You know, I mean, I'm just kidding. And then we got the dog running around and everything. So, you know, but no, that's a really good point. I mean, I appreciate you. I mean, and I don't. My wife is one of the smartest individuals I've ever met. Don't tell her I said that.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, you know, I learn a lot from her, and she's 7 years younger than me. When I met her, we were on dates. She was on her phone all the time. She's a millennial. I'm like, how can you be on your phone all this time? You know, like, I mean, what are you doing? But no, I mean, getting off topic a little bit. But no, good point. And you know, anyways,
I will ask Dose, is he guilty of that? But he don't be guilty of that. I don't think. Slick says people with money have issues too. They just have issues on a different scale.
he's very true.
Yeah, they do. More money, more problems sometimes.
Like Big Small said, more money, more problems. I think that slogan has lasted a long time. Ever since he said that, you know, very long time. And it's very true. Whoever said that, yeah, very true.
One thing you said to me, though, Lab, was consistency. You were like, man, a lot of people jump in this game. They think they're going to level up. They think they're going to advance. They do 1 or 2 podcast episodes or something, get discouraged or be thinking it's just all of a sudden going to rain on them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And offers and all this is coming in just because you broadcast yourself.
Right.
But I got like over 70-some episodes, you know what I'm saying? And I was just looking the other day, I was like, damn, I didn't even know that many days, you know, that much work added up.
Right.
And it's not like I'm stopping or slowing down anytime soon.
Right.
It's interesting because let's say if we go down the timeline, or if we go down on your page, like the Misfits page, you may see people that no longer are broadcasting and stuff like that.
Right.
But then I can see me, look at me or how I've grown, or just damn, I did something that day. Like I just saw the episode I did with my daughter, and it's a sense of pride, but it's also, like I said, it's leaving the imprint. And people that look at it back then can see some advancements with everything we got going on.
The growth. A lot of people don't realize growth is slow. Growth is painful. It takes time. When you grow things, it's a painful process. It's a metamorphosis. You are changing who you were before into who you're going to be now and who you may be later. So a lot of times people don't realize that growth is a painful process, mentally and physically. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'll be perfect in my growing stage, but when I'm growing, I notice it takes me a minute. Then I notice where I was, but you know, while I'm growing, I'm wishing that I was further. You get what I'm saying? You always want to be, you know, I'm a short guy. I always want to be taller, but you know what I'm saying? We always want to be taller. We know what's a baller. You know what I'm saying? But growth is a painful process that we go through, and it's just one of those things that it's hard for us to see it because it is so painful. It's hard for us to see the past because it is so painful. Like me, like you were saying about you coming through and growing up being I don't even know my father. This is something that I've always talked about on all the podcasts that we have here. I don't know my father. So, you know, I had to go through things that, you know, I graduated high school at 15, got my master's degree at 19, you know what I'm saying? Got my associate's degree at 21. It's just a process, you know what I'm saying? I knew that I didn't want to do that, so I got to do something to not to be there to be here.
We got Doogie Howser MD. It's probably a lot of people that don't know who that is.
I know who Doogie Howser is. Doogie Howser MD. Not the Doogie, but
that's all.
But I wanted to say something real quick on what she was. You know, a lot of people, and you said something about it, like people get discouraged. I mean, Alex, first off, hats off. I mean, 77 episodes. That's amazing. I mean, that's you know, and everything you do is consistent. Like you post you're in front of a little wall every before you get going. I mean, I consistently. I don't get to tune into your podcast every week, and I should. But like, I mean, I try to when I can. But like, you are consistent. That's amazing. And my last point on that is a lot of people think they're just going to like go online and hit themselves in the head or get hit by a garage and do something and they go what do you call it? Viral.
Right.
There's like 1%, less than 1% of all people that are doing things on video. radio, that's going to happen to you. So, like you said, growth is very important, and in consistency. And I mean, Alex, that's why I follow you. That's why I'm on your team. That's why I drove an hour away over here to come over here and do this with you tomorrow, because I believe in you, and that is consistent. I know that you're going to be successful, like we always talk about.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? Be successful, man.
Hey, definitely, man. From here on out, I'm making investments that pay off. Like, nothing from nothing leaves nothing, first of all.
Right.
But now it's good because the investment will double down. Like, you get back what you put in it and more.
Right.
So, and we don't have much time now.
Right.
You know, I just don't. You know, I would love to, but I don't. So, and I want it all at this moment. So, I'm running on all cylinders. Definitely be reflecting so that I can assess myself. You know what I'm saying? But still, you can't spend too much time doing that too.
That's true.
Everybody in my circle is the chant and mantra, like, the time is now. I had a friend that, like you said, your wife said, get your shit together. Like, man, you need to get up and get your shit together. And next thing you know, what I send you labs with that publishing thing. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, now next the LLCs are coming. All that black and white paperwork. Zach, I know you like that. Zach be on me about some stuff like that too. Always the ins and outs of industries. Or he's one of the main ones I'll say that'll show me a way to advance without either having to spend a lot of money. You don't necessarily always have to take a course, but you said you had your master's and all that at a young age, and I was saying that I would be open-minded to take courses or classes or just look at something online, the recipes, the things like that. When you got the knowledge in your own hands, that's an advantage, but it's up to you to do something with it. But if you don't even know where to get the knowledge, or if you see the knowledge and you're not applying it, you shoot. That's an obstacle for yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, you're not going to level up or advance. You're stagnating yourself.
I don't think people realize when it comes to leveling up, there's a lot of things that you can get for free.
Now that's
you know. As far as courses and stuff like that, you could take you could go on Coursera and get take a class or something for free. That was last year's class, but
I got you.
You could take it. And you can even apply for, you can even get certificates from it. You not necessarily get a diploma, but you can get, see, people don't, there's a lot of things that we can get for free if we just apply ourselves. Like, I took a few courses when we started this. I took some courses in podcasting and live streaming and video and audio and stuff of that nature, just so I'll know what I'm doing. I don't just want to step back here and just have a terrible, like, I knew that the mics was going to be close, so I knew that I had to, and certain things you have to tweak, certain things you have to do. It's just, and I needed to know that. I need to know what megahertz and kilohertz were, and you know what the compressor does, and all that stuff does when
flex capacitor,
right, and all that. You know, when I hit back to 1985, I didn't know exactly where I'm going to land. So I needed to know that stuff, and I took a course in that, and that was a part of leveling up. You know what I'm saying? For podcasts, it's just certain things that we have to do that we need to realize that it's a lot more than just this. It could be this or that. It could be both.
Yeah.
You know,
good point.
When they say, I watched the industry. I watched some on YouTube called Industry, and she says it's both and. It's and both. You know, it can be and or both. Yeah, so.
Using my time wisely now is one of the most, that's top on my list of what I want to do, because like I say, the time is limited for me, and sometimes opportunities can close on you if you take too long, or if you move in a faster way, you may may make that door open. But to just sit back and procrastinate, that's what I've been doing a lot. Like, just procrastination. I ain't gonna say that was my middle name, but I just had the urge to do other things that I know I can accomplish quicker. Or that made me feel like, I was satisfied because I could get that, rather than tackle the lifelong big goals that make you wealthy, and that separate you from certain circles and classes and things. You know what I mean? Really, you're going to be in another category. You got to wrap your mind around that too.
Yeah.
Like, your thing's going to be totally different depending on if he was, let's say, in 50-something movies, you know what I'm saying, and everybody, it'd be different than him sitting right here. That's what's happening, what's coming. And he actually probably was in it, but nobody knew. What you say, they blurred you out and all that. You drove off a cliff. You drove off a cliff and was screaming and did all that.
They didn't want me for my good looks, for my skills.
You got a set of skills for him.
No, I did get to work in Tulsa King season 3. I got to work with Neil McDonough. That was pretty cool. Neil McDonough is his political agent and had like about a 5-second cameo. Man. Like the camera on the set was aimed right at me. They put the little clipboard, right in front of my face. I was like, dude, I finally made it! Like out of the car and into the limelight. It was a big moment for me.
You was in there with the white man Freeney. Ray Manfredi now.
Sly.
I gotta go back and watch that because I watched that.
Tulsa King be pretty straight, man.
It's pretty straight.
I'm gonna go back and watch and see if I see it.
Yeah, and in the cars in it, my old BMW. Yeah, there's a couple had a couple spots on that.
Okay.
And a lot of people would just do that, wait their whole lives. I mean, I started off doing background. I mean, it's just how you get into doing background. But then I started getting stand-in roles. Like I've stood in for a couple people for Will Trent, which is a huge on CBS.
I watched that too.
I love Will Trent. Yeah, and the stand-in. I mean, you definitely aren't getting seen, but you wear this little piece of tape that says who the main actor is. Second team get in, and then the first team you're like, all right, you're just the shadow, But you meet all those people. Like I had so many conversations with all the main actors. It was so inspiring. That's another thing it makes you want to level up. Go and do a couple of those things just to network and find out and just learn everything you can. It's inspiring. That's a true part level.
We had a friend of ours that aspired to be background actors. That was her.
I mean, that's not hard to do, though.
Right? She was just wanted to be an extra. She was like, she said, she told Slick, I'm gonna be the best extra they ever had.
Hey, I'm gonna stand still better than everybody. That's me behind the trash can.
Your blur's gonna look so nice.
Right. She was like, I'm in this movie and I'm in there for about 2.3 seconds.
You see that dot way in the back.
And all they told me was hurry up and wait.
Right.
You gotta hurry and get on set, but then you just wait for hours.
But the funny thing is, she probably would get paid at least for that, though.
Yeah, she would. They get paid a certain amount a day, but her thing was, she's like, I've been here all day and I can't even go to the craft services table. It's just for the actors.
Oh yeah.
They have the crafty services.
Yeah, they all that food. They be having chefs sometimes.
It's completely different.
Completely different.
Depending on what kind of shows you do. Yeah, I mean, like somewhere we got to eat from the big table. I got to eat from the big table a lot of times.
Had you eating in the bathroom?
The big table, you know.
See, that could be a level up. You could say, next time I come here, I'm gonna be eating at the big table.
Yeah. There we go. And if I can't, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Dress up as security.
But snuck into so many.
Well, I'm loving one of these things, like cutting out the middleman. I definitely know my hustlers understand how that is, but cutting out the middleman and everything that you want to do helps. Or just finding hookups, finding people. Okay, so maybe I'm trying to cut out the middleman of always having to have a camera guy available. And so, but in doing so, I actually gained a cameraman. And now, since I have access to what they can use, they're like, oh man, this is the setting you're supposed to do. What's happening, Credo? But this is the set, Credo, man.
What's up, Credo?
But it's the so now I know the set, they're giving me a little bit of knowledge, so I'm advancing on that. Put this setting in, do that, do this. And so when I have him on the scene, he'll be recording something, but then guess what? After I'm doing the acting, I'm gonna be like, all right, let me get the phone back, and then I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm stepping up, advancing from the writing to the acting to the recording it. And who knows? I might try to get up with you, Lab, or might try to take some class or get an app on editing it.
Right.
But at some point, remember we had them come in and edit that movie how long it took and all this other stuff.
It takes a while.
And we were like, do this with it, put that with it.
We have too many chiefs in the kitchen.
It takes a while to edit a movie.
But this man and me were like, hey, we got to get organized here. We got to do this. I mean, it was 7 minutes. You don't realize to film 7 minutes is, it took 2 full days and nights. Some of these people are about to strangle. I'm like, if you say one more thing, I'm going to strangle you in the walk out. But it was a good experience, and to do it with nothing, no main TV products or anything.
Slick says closed mouths don't get fed. It's good to know how to talk in certain situations. That's leveling up.
Yeah. Yeah. You could talk yourself out of a war, really. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing. So, you know.
Or into one, it depends.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so the good thing about that is we pretty much ended. I want to end on that note of cutting out the middleman. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because that's giving us the power to do what we got coming up next. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this episode, because Ray is going to be a part of what's going to help me advance.
Okay.
As far as getting out my creativity out here. You know what I'm saying? And
vice versa.
Exactly.
Let me ask you guys one more question before we go. Mm-hmm. In the next year or so, how do you see yourself leveling up? You can give me one example or two. How do you see yourself leveling up? I think those you just talked about a lot of it during this segment, but if you have more add to it, how do you guys see yourself leveling up in the next year or so? And do you think that you'll look back on it and notice that you did level up?
You want to go first? Let me go first.
All right, so one of the ways I feel like I'm leveling up, my man Credo just posted the song that I'm on, but to fulfill everything that we've talked about, everything that this podcast has been about, have all these things, all my creative art at one time going. And to me, that's not the advancement, because I know somebody will be like, is it making money yet? But it's the fulfillment to me. All right, if that's meaning I'm throwing all I can in the fire to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? And then I already know that's when I know it's advancing, because I have to make moves to advance to do it.
Right.
The phone, the glasses, all this is an advancement move to make more things happen. So yeah, within that, I see myself wearing my clothes while I'm talking to my cast, listening to the music, all those things that Slick been talking about, all of that's part of it.
I did this, and I'll be sure, but I did this activity just about in the beginning of January that I got. So it was this activity that someone told me that said, so let's say a doctor, it was a 1, a 5, and 10 year. A doctor comes to you and says you're only going to live a year. What are you going to do? Then write everything. Then write a goal plan down. Then 5 years. Okay, you're going to die all of a sudden. You can do whatever you want in 5 years, but then you're just going to die. And then and then do it 10 years. So maybe getting out to 10 years that kind of gets you're kind of pushing it out there. But what I did this year is different than a lot of years I did. Is I wrote 10 goals that I want to accomplish this year. And I haven't done that since I was in college. I think. Right. I still pull out my goal sheet every once in a while that I did in college, and I had I want to be married, want to have kids, want to have a hot wife, she's beautiful. Right. Want to have all, but there's a lot of things I wanted to retire by the time I was 40. Didn't cross that one out, but I didn't get discouraged, and so I was like, why don't I just do that now? And try it again at 47, and and I'm already on my way to, and I look at that. So that's to answer your question, leveling up for me for just this year, and then I'm going to go back and look at what I did and see if I hit all those accomplishments. And and I'm going to do that probably just start doing that every year until I'm croak.
Right. And there's no rules to it. There's nothing to say that something that you didn't get to level up on last year, you can't add to the list for this year.
And there you go.
Yeah.
So on that note, by the way, I think they starting to know. Notice I don't have to always say, I went to the gym today. Right. I'm doing my Super Bowl challenge, y'all.
I saw you doing that. You were pulling tires.
Right.
We on day 13, man. We're gonna keep it going.
So posting it to let people know where you at, what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to keep announcing. They be like, I know Dose is in the gym today.
Good job.
So appreciate everybody for tuning in, man, and tune in next week. We'll be right back at you. Later. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders grams, get your dose up, cut this up and post up, and get dosed up.
This for them voted like the movie, make the most of it. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates for them folk that can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch a close up, close up, close up, a close up, grams of it, tune in, liters of it, close up, pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters up, pounds.